Rhythm and Princess,
where everybody loves the host.
everybody loves the hosting.
She's good for TV and radio.
That's me, yeah, you'll see.
Your dreams can come true, you should know.
You better never stop dreaming.
But now it's time for the R&P show.
It's time, yes, it's time.
Now it's time for the R&P show.
Welcome back to an all-new episode of Rhythm and Princess. I am your favorite host, but my friends call me PK. I have one of the best chefs in the city, so I have been told, and the owner of Reckless Flavor Seasoning, and it's Effortless Catering, Miss Shannon Hill. Hi, good morning.
Good morning. I'm excited to be here this morning.
We so happy to have you. Like, we got so many questions for you, but since it's the Christmas time, let's get in the Christmas mood. What is your favorite Christmas memory?
I would say my favorite Christmas memory is coming over to my grandmother's house and we used to roast pecans and marshmallows. She had a coworker who had a pecan tree in their backyard. And so they used to give her like 3 or 4 bags of pecans. And so we'll go over to her house and she'll light the fireplace and then we'll roast pecans and roast marshmallows. So it was always one of my favorite things. And then just hearing the Christmas music in the background, spending time with my granny, that's probably my favorite Christmas memory.
Oh, I love that. I love that. What is one thing you have to have on the table at Christmas dinner?
Hmm. I guess I would say if we're going traditional, I guess I would say dressing. I
Okay.
love dressing. I love dressing. So it would probably be that dressing.
Are you
But
like one of those black folks that cook dressing probably 12 times throughout the year, so it ain't really a shock at Thanksgiving?
no, actually I don't. I don't. It's crazy because I was talking to my husband about that. I said we can eat this food all year long, so why do we only eat it at Thanksgiving and Christmas? But no, I don't. I only made it
Yeah.
once this year for Thanksgiving. And so I'm not making it for Christmas this year. I'm actually not cooking for Christmas this year.
Oh my God, how you get a break on Christmas, chef?
Cooking. My mother-in-law is cooking, so I'm not cooking it out at
What a
all.
blessing, honey. That's just a blessing. That just sounds like a blessing right there. I like to hear that. Between two shows, Hell's Kitchen or Chopped, which one would you say is your favorite one?
Definitely Chopped. Definitely Chopped. I have been watching Chopped for as long as I can remember. I always wanted to go on this show, and then quite honestly, I don't want to be yelled at by Chef Gordon Ramsay, so I'd
Yeah.
rather not go on that show. So definitely Chopped.
He always had like a reckless mouth. Since we talk about reckless seasonings, he had a reckless mouth.
He's a little up there.
I'm sure you may be familiar with these restaurants, Chef Tams or Evelyn and Olive.
Ooh,
Both black owned.
yeah. I love Chef Tams. I remember going to Chef Tams when she first opened some years ago.
Mhm.
And the only reason why I'm saying this is because I haven't been back since. I've had food maybe a year or so ago when the pandemic started, when they were doing takeout. But I'm gonna go with Evelyn and Olive because I just love oxtails. And then because I hadn't been to Chef Taylor in a while. That's crazy. Now that you asked that question, it's been I think I got something for takeout, some fries, the Bayou fries. Um, yeah, when the pandemic first started. But yeah, but I like Evelyn Olive oxtails. I hadn't.
You gonna make me try them because I am 27 years old and I have never tried oxtail.
Oh, I love oxtails. Like I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. I guess if I had to compare them to something, I would compare them to the texture of maybe neck bones.
Okay.
Maybe neck bones.
Are they like thicker than neck bones or?
No, neck bones are typically bigger. The meat it depends on how long you cook it, which everyone needs to cook it long enough. It gets really tender, and so oxtails are a bit more oily because they
Mhm.
have the I don't even know what it's called. The bone basically, the bone marrow in between that's coming up. So once you cook oxtails, they get oily, it secretes their oil. And then with neck bones, I hadn't had neck bones since I was probably like 10 or 12 or something because I don't eat pork. Um, and I just remember what they taste like. They used to be good, but they didn't used to be oily. That's the one thing I can say that neck bones are oily and not neck bones. Oxtails are oily and neck bones are not.
Just face it, every woman loves to look and feel beautiful. Whether you want to do it like it's your B-day, celebrate a wedding, holiday, or any special occasion, I know just the place. Just Face It Makeup. Just Face It Makeup is currently offering facials, soft glam, full glam, or a natural look. We define beauty, we define you. Please see below link to schedule your glam appointment today and let them know that PK sent you. What is your favorite Reckless seasoning?
Definitely my blackened seasoning. That's my baby. That was the first one I released, and I took my time on it. I took my time on all of them. Don't get me wrong, but that was my first one, so it definitely has a special place in my heart. I've always been a fan of blackened seasoning, always, always, always. But they were always too salty, so which prompted me to create my own. But I use it on everything. It's marketed towards fish and chicken because, of course, it's a blackened season. But I use it on noodles, my vegetables, chicken, fish, everything, salad, everything in my dips. So it's definitely my blackened season.
So you do, that is definitely your favorite. If you use it on
Definitely.
everything, that's great. I just want to say I've always admired your journey. I have been watching you since high school. I know a couple different things about you. I know that you did go to culinary school. Now, was it Lacole?
It was. It was.
Okay. I had to call Landis this morning. I'm like, Landis, is it Lacole? He was like, I can't say P. I said, okay. I said, I'm just trying and see where it go. But shout out to Landis because he definitely was told me to get you on the show. And I always have been admiring you and watching you anyway, because I just like for people to do things that's untraditional. You don't hear about too many Black chefs growing up and, being successful, owning their own lines and stuff like that. People don't really see that that's a possibility. But like when people do it like you change that narrative. So you part of the change. So I just want to say that. But also you went to Lacole, you studied abroad. How was that experience?
That had to be one of the best experiences I've ever had in life. That was actually my first flight, also going to Italy.
Oh
That's
my gosh.
so. Well, I guess technically the first flight we had to fly from Memphis to Atlanta. That was like a 45-minute flight, and from Atlanta to Italy, which was 10 hours. And so that was a great experience. I talk about this all the time. The food there and here is like night and day because
Mm,
there's so many things that the U.S. allows to be put in our food, the chemicals, preservatives that that country doesn't. And so it was night and day. And being able to study with an Italian chef for 7 days was like one of the best things I could have ever experienced. It was the first time I made real brick oven pizza. So it was like
okay.
I made the dough from scratch, the sauce from scratch, and everything was just, it was super cool. It was super cool.
Hello, this is Lakeisha, back with another Rhythm and Princess mental health moment. Today's topic is suicide. It's a delicate subject. However, it can't go unnoticed. Did you know that the CDC, which is the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, lists suicide as a leading cause of death? Yes, believe it or not, there are many people who have given up on life. So you may be asking yourself, how can we prevent this from happening? Well, I'm glad you asked. You can start with supporting and being a listening ear when friends, loved ones, or even strangers just need someone to talk to. And if you are the person feeling suicidal, please talk your feelings out with someone you trust. If you feel like you don't have anyone around that you can talk with, please call the Suicide Prevention Line at 1-800-273-8255. Or you can visit the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline website at www.suicidepreventionlifeline.org. Please know that you are special, you are amazing, and you are loved. Get the help you need if you're feeling down and you think that suicide is your only choice. Your choice should be life. and live your life abundantly. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.
So, like, when did you get the idea? So, after studying abroad, after you did that, when did you say, okay, when you graduated, you always knew you was catering and you started doing Little Chef catering,
Hmm.
what it was. So, how did we get to Little Chef catering to where we at now?
Yeah.
Like, so what's the
Okay.
backstory of that?
So I always knew when I was in culinary school. Let me start off by saying in culinary school we had to do a restaurant project, and so what that project was, we literally had to build a fictitious restaurant from the ground up with a $300,000 budget. And so with that, we had to hire people, we had to buy equipment, we had to find a location. Like these are all things, real things we had to find. So I had to go online, find a real location, go online, create a real cart that I'm buying everything for my business. And so we had to do that. And once I realized how much effort and how many moving parts came with a restaurant, I said I didn't want a restaurant. And I've never liked working in kitchens. Now, all of my
Mm,
jobs have been in kitchens, but I've never liked it because I'm not a fast paced type of person. I don't like having to, okay, I need this out in 2 minutes. I need this out in 3 minutes. That's not me because I like to take my time. I like to make sure that everything is everything.
right.
So upon graduating culinary school, it's like, well, if I don't want to work in a restaurant, if I don't want to own a restaurant, then what do you want to do? So I wanted to just be a private chef, which I still do today. But I was like, well, people need to know who I am. So the best way for people to know who I am is for me to cater. So I started
Yes.
catering,
That's
and the
smart.
name Little Chef's Catering came from my dad. It was kind of it was near and dear to my heart because every time my dad would introduce me to anybody, a friend, a colleague, he would say, "Oh, hey, this is my daughter Shan. This is my little chef." So that's where the name came from.
Mm,
But as I got older, it's like, that's not really giving serious business name vibes. So it
right.
was like, okay, how long are you gonna be little
Little
chef?
Chef. Right.
Well, the name It's Effortless Catering actually came from my husband. So I was working at a restaurant, at my then mentor's restaurant, and that's when I kind of came to the realization, and I actually talked to a church member about it, about my name. He actually works for the city of Memphis, and so it kind of we talked about it, and he was giving me some tips and ideas when you think of business names because he works for the Office of Business and Diversity downtown. And
Okay.
so I asked my husband one day, I was like, if you could describe, and I said this in an article in Bluff City Magazine, if you could describe my cooking technique, my cooking style, what would it, how would you describe it?
Bake it, grill it, flip it, marinate it, season it, air fried, use it. Get reckless. Reckless Flavorings are now offering 4 handcrafted low sodium seasoning blends. Click the link below or the tag above to see how you can purchase your Reckless flavoring seasonings today.
I mean, you do it pretty effortlessly. It's effortless. And I'm, it's
Mm,
effortless. Okay. Okay. So, that's where It's Effortless Catering came from. And it actually got confirmed by my then mentor. I asked her the same question, and then she gave me the same answer. So it was like, okay, I got it from my husband, and it was like when he said it, it just automatically clicked. Like it's effortless. That's pretty cool. It is kind of effortless. I mean, it's not really effortless. I don't want people to
mm.
get effort into it,
We
but
exaggerating a
it
tad bit.
comes easy. It really does come easy to me. So that's something that I can say. It's always come naturally. Cooking has always been something that I've been good at. It just flows. That's just a gift that God instilled in me. And so this is how we got to It's Effortless Catering.
So who started you on cooking? Who helped you do that? Who What made you say I want to cook? Because sound you had to have some experience in the kitchen before you decided
My mom
to
and
prepare.
my grandma. My grandmother, before she passed away, was a chef for 20 years. 20 years at the it's the
Mhm.
Sheraton now downtown, but it was the downtown Marriott. And my mom, she wasn't a chef per se, but my mama can throw down. I still don't think that I can cook better than my mom. But she would let me cook sometimes, and then like if she would work night shift or have to be at work, I would start dinner for her. So it's just cooking in the kitchen. And I remember the first time I made something on Food Network. We used to watch Food Network all the time, and it was this show called Everyday Italian that used to come on. Her name was Giada, and I asked my mom, "Can I please, please, please?" Because they used to tell you what they're gonna make next week, so you can get all the ingredients. So
Okay.
I was like, "Mom, can I please make something off the show?" And so she went to the grocery store. She got me what I needed, and I made the dish. And so it just went on from there. It
And the
was
rest was history. So now you said your husband gave you the idea for the name of East Effortless Catering. Now, was he your husband at the time or he was just y'all?
No, he was just my boyfriend at the
Okay.
time. So I rebranded my company in 2018. So Little Chef's Catering technically started in 2015. And
Okay.
then 2018 is when I got the notion to kind of change the name. So he was my boyfriend at the time. We didn't actually get married until last year. We just celebrated our 1 year anniversary on the 12th of December. So
Exactly. I was just about to say happy belated anniversary. Like
thank you.
I knew I was gonna see you on the show, so I wanted to make sure I said it big in a big way. Happy
Thank you.
anniversary! Like I love when you be posting like y'all gotta stop thinking that marriage is just so bad because of
Yeah, it's not.
stories like young love is real, black love. Like people need to hear that because marriage is literally a dying thing in these days. So
Hey, this is Sweet D with your Black Fact. Have you ever had poke salad in March? It's a green that is mixed in with regular greens, or purple mustard greens. Well, my grandmother and grandfather used to give me those things, but you know what? I don't think that they knew that they were herbalists. I think they just felt like they were cooking. So let me give you some names that will also enlighten your history facts. Harriet Tubman, George Washington Carver, O'Neill Ray Collins, Dr. Sebi, and Dr. Charles Champion. What do they share in common? Herbalism. Now, herbalism is the study of herbs and plants, herbs being the fresh and dried leaves of plants, and spices being flowers, fruit, seeds, and roots of plants. They use these for medicinal and physical needs such as skin, hair, and nails. And you know we all love that. That's important. Now let's talk about when it first was discovered or talked about. Well, it was first learned that the three wise men took frankincense and myrrh to the baby Jesus. So you know frankincense is used for arthritis and myrrh is used for anti-inflammation. But the African Americans that were brought over here as slaves, they used those things by foraging in the woods. That's what they were allowed to do. They couldn't do too much. And it will work very well for medicine and food. But what happened? The European colonists got sick. And of course, they relied on the slaves, the ladies in the house, or the butlers to be able to cure them. And once they realized that we had the power, that's when they stopped us. Because they realized that they could either be poisoned or there would be an uprising. But that didn't stop us. No, as slaves, we carried on that tradition through medicine women. And they would tell you things like, for instance, if your stomach was upset or you had diarrhea, eat some mustard. If you had a toothache, put some nutmeg on it. Now, those are important facts to know, but you can find out even more important facts by looking up natural, holistic herbs, medicine without going to the doctor. Now, know your history so you won't repeat your history. This was Sweet D with your Black Fact.
all representing that and black love. It's just all like the vibe. So how is balancing being a wife, you know, a newlywed and in a business and being a CEO? How is it?
hard as I thought it was gonna be because I have such a supportive husband. He's been supporting me since I would say since I first met him, but I met him in seventh grade. So, but since we first started dating, let me say that he's been very supportive of every dream, every goal, everything that I wanted to do. So that makes it a lot easier. And because we're best friends, we laugh all the time, we joke, we play. It makes it easier. He's not, oh, I need you to come home if I have a late catering job. He wants to help. But it's like it kind of works a lot because he's gone, I'm gone because he's a truck driver. So he may be gone a day, maybe gone 2 days or something, and it just works. It's not hard. The hardest part I'll say has been managing our dog. We have a dog. He's in here. I'm in my dog's room right now.
Okay.
We got him back in February of this year, so it hasn't been a year yet, but he's a year old. But adjusting our schedules because he's like a baby. We got to feed him,
Right.
walk him, make sure he exercise, play with him. So that has been the hardest part. That was like a curveball getting our dog. So we got catering, shipping seasons, truck driving, family, relationship, baby. So
Yeah, it's a lot. You balancing it all. You do it well though. That's I'm like, you are balancing, juggling a lot of different hats, and like that's a lot, girl. Shout out to you though with it.
you.
I want a dog, but I'm just like, no, I just really cannot give something like a real responsibility like that right now, a child or a dog. I don't think I'm equipped for it. Not yet, but I do want a dog in the future. In the future. And a child in the future.
Yeah.
With a husband in the future.
Yeah.
So I love it. So now I know we talked about how you got the name, it's Effortless Catering, but how did you come about Reckless Seasoning?
So that came directly from God. And I know a lot of times people don't feel like, and I'm going to say this because some people haven't experienced that. They don't feel like you can really hear from God, but that came directly from God. So at the time when I got the name, so I launched my season in 2019, October of 2019. And I had been searching for names. When I tell you, I had scrapbooks full of type of names because I just didn't know. I had no idea what I wanted to name it. And I used to listen to devotional music. And my favorite, well, at the time, my favorite gospel song was Reckless Love. And so one of the lyrics in that song, well, a couple of them, it says, oh, the overwhelming, never ending, reckless love of God. It chases me down, fights till I'm found, and it leaves the 99. So, and another lyric says, there's no mountain you won't climb up. No, I'm getting it wrong. No mountain you won't climb up, no darkness you won't light up. I'm messing up the lyrics, but essentially what that song is saying is God's love is so powerful and so reckless that it will push through anything to try to find you, push through any wall, climb up any mountain, light up any darkness to get to you because God's love is just that serious. And when you think of reckless, people think when you hear somebody say, oh, she was reckless driving or he was just acting reckless, it has like this negative connotation to it, but it's not necessarily negative because when I hear reckless, I think of God's reckless love. So I was in my prayer closet one day and that song was playing, and literally I heard God say reckless flavor. And I was like, hold up, what? And then I heard God say reckless flavor. And that moment right there, like it resonated so hard, like so much in my heart. It was like, dang, that's the name. And so I searched it, searched trademark, Googled it, I Instagrammed it, Facebooked it, hashtag look everywhere. Nobody had that name. You know how sometimes you can come up with a business name and people have different variations of it.
Right.
Like Shan's Kitchen. Somebody may already have a Shan's Kitchen, but I knew that this name was so perfect for me and my season. It was nowhere to be found. Nowhere. So I started the trademark process. I did everything I needed to do. I got the logo made. That was for me. That was for me.
I love that. Like, I was gonna ask you, like, was it every like a time where you were like, it's kind of risky because it does give a negative connotation, but on the flip side, it grabs your attention.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about reckless. When you see that in the season now, you gonna reckless. You know what I'm saying? What's this about? You know what I'm saying? Because it does have a negative connotation, but it is so attention seeking. Was that kind? Did you ever consider that in naming it?
Honestly, no, because it just was so perfect. And then,
Yeah.
like I said, when I think about Wrigley's, I automatically went
Think
to
of
their
the
song.
positive.
Like this flavor is so reckless, it's gonna push through whatever you season it on, whether it's some fish, some lamb, some vegetables, some rotel, whatever you make, you're gonna taste this seasoning. You're gonna taste it through whatever
Because
you
it's
put.
gonna push through. I just
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
So I know that you do they're all low sodium, right? Low sodium, no MSG.
Mm-hmm.
One
No
other thing I wrote on
preservatives,
there. No
GMOs,
chemicals.
no chemicals, none.
So is there a reason? Like I know you said, or I heard you say earlier, because the other seasons were too salty. That's why you decided. Was that the sole purpose, or did it have anything to do with you got family members who have blood pressure, the Black community? I'm just asking.
So originally it wasn't gonna be high sodium, but I didn't. So I launched my not launch. I created my blackened seasoning.
Okay.
Tasted, gave it to a couple of family members. It was good, but it had a higher sodium content. So
Okay.
my dad actually got sick and got hospitalized due to high blood pressure. Like literally almost
Mm.
died. And so it was like, okay, we're gonna have to get you on something that's healthy. So I took some of the salt out. And to my surprise, at first, now that is something that I was hesitant about at first. Like, we in the South, people like salt, they like to have all the flavors. So I was kind of nervous
Mm-hmm.
about doing low sodium seasonings, but it worked. It worked. And so once I took some of the sodium out, tried it for myself, launched the seasoning, everybody loved it. It was like, whoa, okay, okay. So this is where we are. So that's what kind of prompted me to move towards low sodium because my dad got sick. So that first one. And then I always said, even if this first one is low sodium, I'm not gonna make the rest low sodium, but just it made sense. It made sense. We're
Mm-hmm.
all on a journey to be healthier, to do better, feel better, look better. So it's like, what better way? And a lot of people fail to realize that starts with what you eat. You have to
Exactly.
have a healthy mind and you have to have a healthy body. People think that you can just go to the gym and work out, but it starts in the kitchen. It makes no sense for you to work out if you're eating trash. You're eating a lot of salt, which you're retaining a lot of water. You're eating a lot of fat and processed sugars, and then you're getting all these chemicals in your body. And not even going to go into all the diseases that come from the food that we eat. But yeah.
You're right. I agree with you as well. Like definitely struggle on that healthy journey, but I always want to do better. So I may not do I just feel like life is about just every day improving yourself. Okay, because if you gonna plan for the week, you can meal prep, you can do all that and you can stick to it, but it's a day-to-day thing. You never know what's gonna happen. Life might hit you in a curveball and
Right.
women, I tell my dude all the time, like, I'm a woman. He be like, you ain't gotta have sweets. I'm like, I'm a woman. I don't have to explain this to you. Okay. I can have sweets even if I'm working out and it doesn't have anything to do with you. So I am like want to get on that healthy life because it definitely is health and it's your mind. You got to train your mind to want healthy and want to really redo yourself, like get that energy and make it positive all the way. Because if you want a healthy body, you gotta want a healthy mind.
Right.
The mind is gonna control it. So, what is one of I only got a couple more questions for you because I know we gotta get you out of here. What was one of your favorite things about what is your favorite thing? What is your favorite thing about the process of making the seasonings? What's your favorite part?
Putting the labels on.
Okay.
When I put the labels on, it's those. It's like, how do I explain it? I don't want to ramble. It's like that. Wow, I have a product feeling. I
Mhm.
can mix the seasoning. I can put it in a bottle, put the lids on, but it's not finished until I slap that label on. And when I put that label on, it's like, wow, I have a product. I really have a product. So that's that finishing.
This the
moment.
It's mine.
Yeah. So yeah. That's
Has
it.
there ever been like a time? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to try to cut you off.
Oh, you're fine.
Has there ever been a time where like you went somewhere random and somebody had your seasoning, or it was like, oh, I got your seasoning, I bought your seasoning, like somebody random? Has that ever happened to you yet?
No, so well, not ran into. So my mother-in-law, she has a coworker, and they put it on Facebook. And my mother-in-law is like one of the biggest advocates for me, my catering, my season. My family is very supportive. I will say that. And so she works downtown. She has a whole bunch of coworkers, but she's always telling people about my season. But naturally, she can't reach everyone. And
Mhm.
so she had a coworker who is friends with someone on Facebook, and they posted the seasoning. And so my mother-in-law's coworker shared it and said, "Oh, this is my coworker's daughter-in-law season." So it was somebody that I didn't know, somebody who my mother-in-law didn't know, just who had posted the seasoning, and they got it from we were in Charlie's Meat Market on Summer Avenue. And so
Mhm.
we're still there. I just need to go restock them. So that's where they got it from. So being able to put my seasoning in that store and reach customers, who aren't able to come on a website or don't really know how to access the website. We have people who are not technology savvy. So,
Mhm.
that was like one of the best things. Okay, now I can reach a different audience. This is a meat market. So people are coming in about meat all day long. Y'all gonna need something to season your meat with. So
Right. Okay. Did that make you feel good on the inside? Like, okay, it's not my friend, it's just a friend of a friend. Word of mouth is traveling. Basically, your family, your support system, they doing what needs to be done to get
mhm.
you in everybody's homes. So, like,
Yeah, that made me feel great. That made me feel awesome.
So man, it's your boy Kevo here, and welcome to Saving Sense. Most people struggle with ways to save money. Let's continue with last week's session about how ways we can save money. For example, incentives and debt. Set yourself an incentive. Let's say if I save this amount of money, I reward myself with something I like. Such as, okay, if I save this money, I know I like to eat Chick-fil-A or Zaxby's. Let me save my money. Once I save that money, then I know I can reward myself to Chick-fil-A's or Zaxby's. But if I spend too much money, I can sacrifice going out or even something like taking my girl out on a lesser date. When I say that, this is what I mean. Like instead of going out to the movies, me and my girl, we could probably do a Netflix and chill thing. Then, let's make sure we're paying off our debt. Even if it's a small amount of each payment, try to push that payment to something. Leverage out our credit cards. Try not to have too many of them. That's what accumulates debt. Other ways we can do it, let's get paid quicker. Find different ways, find something you're good at. Always find ways to hustle more income. I know for me, for example, I use Uber Eats. I do Uber Eats most of the time to try to get me another income. Or even if you're good at something with your hands, I usually cut grass in the summer. So there's just multiple ways of trying to get a quicker income or more of an income into yourself. The main point is set yourself up to where you are enjoying life while saving as well. And that's a wrap for your boy Kevo on Saving Sense. And remember, make your sense make sense.
Makes
you,
it amazing.
I love that. Now, I got a couple questions about what's coming. So, do you always plan on catering and selling seasonings, or do you eventually want to transition from just being a seller, going into cookbooks and maybe doing master classes, getting out of private chef unless really, wanting to do it? Or what does the future look like for you?
So the ultimate goal is to just have a. I hate when I get, you have something in your head and you just can't say it. Is to
Yeah,
have a worldwide seasoning brand. That's the ultimate goal.
that is what I wanted to
I want
hear.
to start brand. I want to start private chefs, and I love cooking. Don't get me wrong. I'll never stop cooking, but
Right.
it's not the business that I want to continue in. And so it's like I've been on this journey for so long, and I've had start a seasoning company and my journals and goals for so long, and it came to fruition. And I feel like God is leading me in the direction to focus primarily on that because believe it or not, it's hard to try to deal with catering and then I still have private chef gigs and I still have to keep the seasoning stock and try to keep the seasoning market. I have like 3 or 4 Instagram pages and social media pages that I'm running, Facebook, Instagram. So it's like I have to make sure I'm sending out emails for both. So it gets a little hectic. Now,
Right.
granted, I do have the help. I do have people who work with me and for me, but it's just still a lot. It's just I don't want to spread myself too thin. Maybe eventually I'll
Right.
start back catering, but the ultimate goal, well, I haven't stopped. So let me not say start back. I haven't stopped. Um, but once I get my seasonings worldwide on all these shelves, that's the
It's
ultimate.
coming, girl.
That's the
It's coming. That's why I'm excited to be here with you today. Cause like I'm just like, yeah, I see the vision. You making it plain. So of course it's not easy being an entrepreneur. So what would you tell kids, future chefs, kids that may be on the fence in high school about what path to take, or entrepreneurs that say, hey, I started, trying to cook and I'm discouraged, or what is some advice you would give them?
a few things. The first thing I would say, find what you're good at. Find what you do effortlessly. A lot of times let's just say if I was a hairdresser, I do braids. If I'm a braider and I'm great at braids, I should be doing braids. A lot of times, what we tend to do is, well, since I'm a hairdresser, I'm gonna do braids, I'm gonna do curls, I'm gonna do faux locks, I'm gonna do haircuts. We try to do so much under this one umbrella instead of perfecting that one and then moving on. So find what you're good at first and stick with it at least for a period of time. And when you
Right.
have that perfected, then you add on to it. Because now what's going to happen is you're trying to perfect these, and now you've added something else to your plate. And you can't focus solely on this one because you're focusing on that one too. So I would say find that. The second thing I would say, it's okay for your path to change. Even
Mm.
though I had started a seasoning line in my journal, I really didn't expect to do it. I know that's kind of crazy. I really did not expect to do it. And I never expected to say eventually I want to stop catering. I don't think I've ever would have uttered those words, but I did. And so it's like I feel like this is the path. And I've said this to a couple of family members. I may stop catering. And they're like, "What? But you love cooking." It's like I do. I'm still gonna love cooking, but that's just not the business for me eventually. Let me say that.
You
And
don't
the last thing
you
I would say is do not give up. And I know that's cliche. You have so many people tell you don't give up, but baby, I have cried on many nights in my room, in the car, in the closet, saying I'm done. I'm over it. I quit. But something in me just would not let me quit. And I'm glad that I never quit. I've been doing a lot of this on my own for a long time. So finally getting to a point, and I'll be transparent when I say this, I've been catering since I was 2015. Since 2015, not since I was 15. But my business did not turn a profit until 2019. So that's
Mm.
4 years of making money, but not making money. So yeah, you may be getting the income, but until you can cover expenses and still have money left over, then you're not turning a profit. I didn't turn a profit until 2020, actually, not 2019, 2020. So it was a long time, a lot of time working, a lot of hustle, a lot of stand up, a lot of research, and that's how I got to actually turn a profit. So just don't give up. We, I know it's easy to give up because trust me, I didn't almost gave up several times, especially with this seasoning because ooh, there people think, okay, you just mix together, put it in a bottle, sell it. No, oh no, it's not
I
this simple.
highly doubt is anything as limited as that.
It's not that simple. But I would just say, don't give up. Don't give up.
Great advice. Now, is it true that is it your stepdad? Is somebody at disbelief that's owners of disbelief?
That's my dad. That's my biological dad.
That's your dad. Oh my God. So, oh wow. We know that on the show too. Dad, hey.
Yeah, that's my
What type of information has he given you to help you with your business? Because of course I know he has put you on game about a lot, especially selling liquor where you have to go to another country to get it and sell it here. So how has he played a big role in you?
So my dad is this type of person. He's the type to watch you long enough to see if you actually want it. Let's just say if I go to my dad today, hey dad, I want to sell cars. Okay, baby, you can sell cars. I'll support you. He gonna watch me for a long time to see, okay, is she serious about selling these cars? Let me see, has she tried to sell cars? Has she bought any cars to sell? Has she started fixing on cars? He's one of those people to make sure that this is something that you want to do before he goes all in. Because a lot of times we'll say we want something and want to do something that we really don't. We
You're
just
right.
it's impulsive. We're gonna say it or do it for the time being because it look like I can make money from selling cars really quickly. So he's one of those people. So I was talking to my dad, I guess about a year ago. He just said, "Babe, I just want to let you know I'm so proud of you. I remember you telling me about your season and you started it and all of this stuff." And so he was just like, "You did it." He was like, "You thought you were gonna need my help, but you didn't." Because I came, so I was like, "I need your help. I need to start a season." And he was like, "Okay, babe, I'm helping." But I never even went to my dad for help. I never went to him for help. But he was always supportive. He's always sharing it. He's bought, I think he's my biggest customer, maybe bought like 30 or 40 bottles at a time, and he passed them out around the city. So
Oh
he
my
gives them
gosh.
to people that he works with. And so, yeah, but my parents are just, I love my parents, my in laws, and my biological parents. Like, those folks are like the best.
I love that. I love that. So, with that being said, how do you want to be remembered?
Business wise, or just like as a person?
Like when you leave this earth, you're not gonna just be. We saying with Dolph, you're not gonna just be judged by
Right.
what you did on screen. You're gonna be judged by what you did off screen. So overall, how does Shannon Hill want to be remembered? The owner of Reckless Seasoning, the CEO, the private
Right.
chef of it's Effortless Catering. Like,
I just want to be remembered for my funny, goofy self. And if people choose to remember me because of my season, I'm okay with it too. But I pride myself on being a good person because there's so many people out here just going through a lot and you never know what they're going through. And it's so easy to be mean to people. It's so easy to talk down to people. But what's not easy all the time is
it's
to be
to
nice.
uplift.
Yeah, and uplift people. So I want to be remembered as Shannon was so sweet. She was so funny. She was so nice. She was very encouraging. She would help me whenever I need. I want to be remembered as that person because for one, I feel like this who God wants us to be. He wants us to be there for his children. He created us to be in community with each other, and we can't be in community when we're being rude to people. But and then I'm funny. I feel like I'm one of the funniest people on this earth.
She
So
said, "Being funny."
I want my family to think about all the crazy and silly stuff that I done said and that I done. Like I want to be remembered really just for who I was. Who I was.
I love that. Now we got onion and herb, greens and kale, blackened and all-purpose reckless flavor seasoning. Where can they go purchase that at?
They can go to my website, www.recklessflavor.com, and you can see tons of recipes on you with using the seasoning. They're $10. Hint, hint, we're going to be running a Christmas sale. So sign up for our email list. There are many perks to being on our email list. You get discount codes. You're getting first dibs on our master classes that we're going to start, our virtual cooking classes. So just make sure you go and you sign up, and you'll get a little discount code once you purchase. So
Okay. Thank you so much, girl, for coming on the show. I'm so happy to have you here.
Happiness. Sigma Theta is the only way.
All of my love, my peace, my happiness, ooh, I'm gonna give it to Delta. All of my love, my peace, my happiness, ooh, I'm gonna give it to Delta. All of my love, my peace, my happiness, I'm gonna give it to Delta. All of my love, my peace, my happiness, ooh, I'm gonna give it to Delta. Hey, Happy New Year to my beautiful dreamers. It's your girl, your favorite host and dreamer, Princey P, but my friends call me PK. 2022, woo! Has it been new for y'all? Because it's been a real new over here. First off, I can't start this off without saying long live Flipper, a worldwide legend. We miss you. You will forever live on. And we love you. We love Dolph over here. Period. Next, I want to say, with all the negativity and the things that's going on in the world, we have to find a way to bring and spread more love. That's what this next segment is about. Share a smile. Share it. Now, it can be a promotion. It can be a proposal. It can be a graduation, a baby shower. It can be something as simple as, I'm just glad to get up each morning and be able to do what I love to do. That's what I want. I want people to see other people loving the beautiful things about life. And you never know who that may help. You may look at it as, I don't want to show off my accomplishments. I don't want nobody to feel bad. But you showing off your accomplishment just might inspire somebody else to go do that. Or go do more. You never know. But you have to just try. So I'm just encouraging you guys to really have fun with this and send your videos into Rhythm and Princess 2018 at gmail.com, and it can be up to a minute long. It doesn't have to be a minute. It can be 10 seconds, 5. It's up to you. You guys get fun and get creative with it, because I really think this will be an amazing thing, and I think people are going to look forward to sharing smiles forever. So I want you guys to really, really, really try to do it, because I know you guys are capable of doing it, and because I love y'all, and I want to see those beautiful smiles. Now, 2022, last but not least, I want you guys to stay on your goals. I want you to stay on your goals. If you wrote it down, you can achieve it. You will achieve it. I speak life over you. I speak success over you. I speak unlimited amount of blessings over you. So y'all go out here and make 2022 the best year of your life. And before I go, I just want to say happy Founders Day 109 to the devastating divas of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The baddest in the land. Who running? You already know. The Deltas. Period. And big shout out to all the other NPHC organizations that have a Founders Day in January as well, because I want you guys to know something. I want everybody to hear this. We are better together than we are apart. We are all black fraternities and sororities. I know it's going to be a lot of shade and things thrown and this and that, but remember, y'all, we need to be unified, especially in times like this, because these black sororities and fraternities, they matter, and they shaping the world each and every day. So shout out to that. 109 years. You know, and you always gonna know who running. Okay? Happy New Year. Send those shirt smiles in. I love y'all. Until next time.
show.